Hey, I'm just going to get into the video because it's a long one today, but we start with me in pain, arthritis from immunotherapy. I will then head to Brisbane to try and deal with the rheumatoid arthritis through some chemo and infusions, and there was all types of mucking around. So you will see the whole story unravel, and I'll catch you on the other end. Bye. I kind of don't look like I got almost 9 hours sleep last night. Got these bags on my eyes. I'm feeling exhausted, even though today I have been, just taking it really easy. I haven't done any housework or anything around the place, and it's been lying down listening to a book for a bit there. So yesterday went to work. I was really tired all day. Was teaching grade 5s, decimals, percentages, and, well, thankfully I wasn't teaching them. The grade 5s were doing it on their mathletics computer, but whenever they needed help, I couldn't even think. I mean, I've forgotten that maths anyway. I never taught up to grade 5, and if I ever have to teach it when I'm relief teaching, then I normally have to kind of reteach myself every time because maths is not my strong point. I forget stuff. So yeah, and I just couldn't work stuff out. But it was a really easy day in terms of, it was just supervision mainly, which I knew it would be, which is one of the reasons why I wasn't worried about going to work, because I knew I was filling in for teachers who were doing diagnostic reading assessments and moving from different classes. So when I didn't have to teach the whole day, I was just doing supervising things so that they could keep taking kids in and out. So they couldn't get me doing like proper teaching, because otherwise the kids would be missing the new content. So doing the supervisory role was a lot easier when I wasn't feeling 100%. My hand was still quite sore. It was sore this morning. It's feeling better at the moment, but it just seems like overnight it just keeps getting sore. So I'm hanging out for this infusion. I've heard the name a couple of times and I've still forgotten it. So, oops, I just went to hold my phone. I should be using my gimbal, but like that hurt to hold my phone there. So, yeah, got through the day, went to bed early yesterday, just been kicking back today, and feeling tired also because I'd taken the chemo tablet first thing in the morning. I took the chemo tablet and went, this probably is not wise. I don't know how I'm going to react to this, and I'm taking it and then going to work. But anyway, it was fine. But by the end of the school day, I was just feeling sick in the stomach. And just before I was feeling sick in the stomach, liver problems can be a side effect of that. So all of a sudden when I was feeling sick just before, I thought, you probably haven't drunk enough water. So I've been chugging a whole heap of water, and I think I'll get another early night. And hopefully I might just kind of get used to the feeling of the chemo tablet, and it's just settling in. We'll see how we go. So, yeah. And also been trying to work out going to Brisbane next week. Actually, I still haven't worked that out. But there is a performance of Frankenstein at QPAC down like 10-minute walk from the hospital. So Jonty had read Frankenstein last year. And then a friend of mine, the drama teacher at school, was saying that he had just watched it and it's the best performance that he's ever seen out of, over 100 performances of live performances. So that made me want to watch it. So I was trying to work out, because the doctor said it might take 1 or 2 days being in hospital. I was trying to work out, am I staying 1 or 2 days? But it really will be, let's see how you respond to the treatment, whether it's 1 or 2 days. And I was trying to get Jonty to come and pick me up, and then we could watch Frankenstein. Trent's really into drama, so we might even include Trent. And then we started talking about maybe his girlfriend could come, maybe his best friend could come, maybe my niece could come. So, yeah, I don't know. It might be me and the kids watching Frankenstein next week. I hope so. It would be fun. But then Jonty wanted to watch it on Saturday because he doesn't think that Wednesday or Thursday, when I'll need to get picked up, his girlfriend will be available. But we'll see whether she wants to watch Frankenstein anyway. Kids are at youth. I just need to go and take my medication, and then I'm going to jump in the shower before they get home. But I thought I'd just fill you in on how I'm feeling because, you know, doing a little bit of a different thing right now. So new hoops to jump through in the cancer journey. That's the little pizza night happening. Got sister-in-law in town. Say hello.
Hello.
There's the triplets. Alexa's Pizzas.
And Emmy and Toby were my help.
Emmy and Toby, well done. With the homemade pizzas. Lovely.
Emmy's good at it, and Toby learned. Toby was very.
Yeah, made by Trent.
And then you've got Wilfred on there.
Is that straight after the subject? We get back to it.
Noisy person over here. Yay, we've got light. That's what we have to do with such high ceilings, just to get a light bulb changed. Oh. Spooky. On my way to Brisbane with my brother, and we were just saying that even though I have to travel to Brisbane a lot,
It's nice. Nice to spend some time.
yeah,
We can all enjoy it.
aren't they nice? So yeah,
But we mean it.
that's good. Yeah, no, it is the silver lining to be able to spend time together in the car. It's 2 hours that we don't like have the time to stop during normally, but and I'm lucky too because my like a lot of my siblings, actually all my siblings, I'm the only one that doesn't work in the family business, so they've got some flexibility there too. Anyway, off we go, and hopefully all this arthritis will get fixed. Just having DYD, Brisbane Gomez. They are really pushing their new pinto beans.
They're yummy.
They were really delicious. Greg's got a burrito, I've got an enchilada, and then we'll be right to go to the hospital. Just seeing if we're going to get there on time. Good at city driving. All checked in and waiting. That bag has my pillow in it, so always bring my pillow. Pro tip, if you've got a good pillow, and it is well worth investing in a good pillow. I love my latex pillow, Dunlop pillow, I think is the brand. Yeah, I find you just get so much more rest if you bring your own pillow. I often bring it on holidays with me too if I can. Oh, my other pro tip is make sure you've got not a white pillowcase. Once I took a white pillowcase to hospital and then I left my pillow behind, and luckily the nurses still, when they went to remake the bed, still saw that it was my pillow and rang me up and I could come back and get it. But so I don't forget, I always put a pillowcase that is a different colour so it doesn't blend in with the hospital whites. I've got my lovely silk pillowcase tonight, which will be beautiful. Okay, this is my room. Can you hear? I am sharing again. There seems to be 2 other people at the moment. And luckily, I got put in number... They said I was putting number 10, and then when they left, I realised, oh, that's number 11. So I have moved to number 10, which is actually good. So number 11 was the room right next to the toilet, and it had even less room than this, because this just has the bed, that bedside table, and the cupboard. But the good thing is I've got a window. I've been in the 4-bedroom before, but it's been down the other end. in, I think that's north and this is east. Maybe that's west. It'd have to be west then. West and this is east. So I haven't been up this end of the oncology ward before. And it's just onto a blank fence, whereas this one, if I squint through somewhere, I can see some houses and that. So I'm glad about that, and it seems to be a little eating area out there. So at least this time there's a chair I can use, because last time I didn't even have that. So it would have been, I was praying because apparently there's hardly any single rooms in the oncology ward, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, you'd think that trying to keep germs away from people. But anyways, so I was just hoping for at least a double room. But this is the way it is. I'm very grateful for the hospital services. I know some people criticise me for my comparisons between public and private hospitals. And, you know, I've paid health insurance for a long time to get the benefits of that. So I don't think I should be criticised for being able to compare two services, and I am very grateful, so please don't tell me that I'm not grateful. But, you know, like, you kind of always secretly hope for the best case scenario. And it's not, I'm only here hopefully overnight, maybe 2 nights, it will be fine. But it's more likely that I will get less sleep because there's just more activity in this particular room. And, you know, it's okay to acknowledge that. I've just come outside because they're changing over the mattress, because it was an air mattressy thingy that, oh, it's a bit bright, need to find some shade, that is for older long-term patients. So yes, I was just sitting there watching the nurse change it, and I'm like, oh, she doesn't need someone just sitting and watching her. So I've come out. So if you see that, I think my room is one of, yeah, it's up that other end there. So I think this is the view that I have. Okay, of Stanley Street. I've got my bearings now. Yes, and as I had a walk around the East Ward, I realised I am so unlucky, because down in the West there's lots of double rooms and then the 4 room, and in the East there are lots and lots of single rooms, and I still ended up with the 4 room. And I don't know whether it came out in my, like, in the room, because I was whispering, it was really loud. I am so grateful of the level of care that I get in hospitals in Australia. So, and it will be fine. But yeah, like, even I just went to the toilet before I went out, and when you're sharing with 4 and they're older people, then like, they've got all the mobility aids that you have to move just so you can go to the toilet, because it's just not as nice using that when you don't have to. So anyway, it will be fine, but I was just like, anyway, it's the luck of the draw. And to be truthful, I would much prefer an older, sicker patient to have a room on their own than for me to have one, and for another sicker patient to be in the 4-bedroom room. So it makes, I don't think they assign it on anything other than just who comes in at that particular time. So, you know, I've got no problem with me being in there, especially if there's like older, sicker patients that need, like, when in my last time I was in there, like, I would have given the lady who was in huge amounts of pain next door to me, I would have, if I was offered a room on my own, I would have said, no, please give it to that other lady. She needs her own space. So it's not like I'm not thinking of other people, but you always kind of hope for the best for yourself as well. But gay sarah, sarah. Well, my doctor has just vacated that chair, and I have discovered that this infusion that I am in here for needs some stringent blood testing. And so they're going to take all of those bloods and wait for the results. So I will not be getting the infusion today. I'll be getting it tomorrow. So I wish that I could have just taken the blood test at home and come in tomorrow, left without staying overnight in hospital. But anyway, that is the way things have worked. And also I was going to get the infusion under another doctor, but he's just discovered that he can't actually give it to me, and my regular doctor has to, but he's in consultation with the other doctor to get all the results right. And yeah, he also needs to check out a few of my medications that they're not clashing with it. And we'll be right to go tomorrow, and I should be able to go straight home tomorrow. So yeah, it'll be good.
Oh,
Can you hear the conversation?
yeah. I don't know. Oh, it's okay having it done.
Dinner looks amazing. I've got like a special celebrity chef's got a menu here. Luke Manjan. So I've got soba noodles there. We've got coral trout. This is so good. It is the best hospital food I've ever eaten. It is so delicious. Port has just been accessed. Sorry, bed hair. This is my overnight report. I've just tried recording it and then realised that I recorded the hospital bed curtain because I had turned the camera the wrong way. Yes, I only got 3 hours sleep. Not necessarily the room's fault, just being in a hospital fault with all the noises and other people snoring, but it wasn't bad. The poor lady across from me is quite sick. I think I was maybe some of the cause for concern for others because I've got this bad cough. And I know the lady across the way has been quite confused, and she thought she was at home. So apparently her daughter at home has a cough. So she kept hearing my cough and thinking she was at home. The other lady mentioned something about someone coughing. So I feel bad about that. But that's the issue with sharing rooms is everybody can't help what you're doing. Like we're, all trying to do life in a very small congested space. So woken up a few times. No, I wasn't woken up for obs. I woke up at 4 a.m. I finally got to sleep at 1 a.m. I use this, it's a Bluetooth headband, and normally I will put that on, listen to something that's a little bit interesting, but not so interesting that I just drop off to sleep. But nothing was working last night, and when I finally dropped off at 1 a.m, I woke up, which I often do around 4 a.m, to go to the toilet. And I was just like, I probably created a bit of noise because of all the mobility stuff around the toilet. And it was just awkward. And then the nurse came in, took my bloods and everything so I could go back to sleep. But I never did. I tried so hard, but I just never did. Listen to a great sermon, which I thought normally I would drop off at some point and pick it up later. Great sermon by N.T. Wright on the period between death and resurrection. So that was really interesting. I mean, I've heard it before from him. He is just such a great theologian. I've just busted out of the hospital because I'm sitting there waiting for the infusion, and then a nurse came in and said that apparently the blood tests results that we were waiting for needed extra time for the cultures to develop, and they weren't going to be ready until at least the next day. And she was even saying, I'm not sure whether it's 2 or 3 days. It looks like it is 2 days. So I'm sitting there going, what? Then I thought, oh, maybe I can go to a hotel so that I can sleep better. But the issue with that is the hospital would still have me admitted, so they would just be giving me a pass out. So that would mean the trial would be technically paying for 2 lots of accommodation, so they don't really need to pay for another night. So that leaves me in hospital for another night for absolutely no reason except for waiting for a blood test. Actually, I need to my cousin was going to come down and pick me up, and I just realised that I told her to turn around. She'd just started on the journey, and I thought, I just haven't told her that, yes, it's definitely not happening today, so I should do that. So I've just kind of been sitting around. They said, I'll wait for your doctor, but then a bit later he came up and said, did your doctor talk to you? And I'm like, no, hasn't been here yet. And he goes, oh, he has been on the ward. So there was nothing for him to tell me, because there's just have to wait for a blood test. It's a shame. This is all a new drug and a protocol for them, so they just didn't really realise, and they were supposed to be doing it with another doctor. Then the other doctor realised that he couldn't do it, so he's directing him, and they just didn't realise what needed to be done. And it's a shame on my behalf that I couldn't, I should have just done the blood test a few days ago and came down in time for the infusion, but it is what it is, and I've got stuff to do, and I'll hopefully get a better night's sleep tonight, because maybe I'll be that bit more tired. Okay, but in the meantime, I'm just going to go out, get some exercise, have a walk down to South Bank, book tickets for Frankenstein on Saturday night with my teenagers. So that will be fun. Back to Brisbane, but for a really fun reason at least. Okay, so remember, Brisbane is where Bluey is from, and we have got a Lego Bluey pop-up happening. Look how cute that is. Okay, so apparently this is to do with some ice cream episode on Bluey, and you can go in there. It's free, but I don't have a little kid to take. You can get these Lego ice creams that you can go home and make. Really, really wish I had Isabella and Evelyn, although it's not open right now anyway, by the looks. And I think in there is where you go and get your scoops of Lego ice cream. I don't think she's supposed to be there. Of Lego ice cream, and take it home. A little packet. The moment I go out, the pharmacist just rang. Like last night, they sat down, nurses got all my medication, my doctor charted it all up, and then, this happens all the time, then I'm at QPAC. I don't know where the ticket office is, so I'll have to find that in a sec. I don't know whether it's up there or whether it's further down. So then I had to tell them, the moment I go out, so she's like, can you just talk to me on the phone? I'm like, sure, but, oh yep, there's the box office. Yes, and must have been just a performance, everybody's coming out. Yes, so then she wants to go over every single medication I've got, which is quite a lot. And then I have to remember all the names, and they always want the technical names, because if I do just the, street name, they're like, what? And then remembering the doses, it exhausts me. I feel like just going, can you just go and get the piece of paper from the nurse's station and just copy it down into your little chart, because all that will happen is when I leave, I'll have a list of all my medications that I already know I take. Yay. Anyway, let's go see if I can find some Frankenstein tickets. box office is shut, so I have to go to a different one. By the way, our Q-Pack is going to get a facelift, which is, looks like it's going to look pretty great, because at the moment it's just one of those cement buildings that reminds me of some of those post-war buildings in London, which is not my favourite style of architecture. Like these new curvy ones a lot more. Hooray! I have the tickets. I ended up buying the cheaper seats because they were $30 less per ticket. And I also asked about Annie, who is coming, and I really want to see it. Remember in my speech that I made at my friend Tisha's birthday, I talked about how I used to play imaginative games. One of the games my friends and I always used to play, because Annie had come out at the movies, and we just used to pretend that we were all the characters in Annie every single day. Juanita Burrell was always the dog. We all had fights over being Miss, is it Havisham? Was that Great Expectation? Anyway, and Annie, I liked being Annie. Actually, I hadn't even watched the movie, but I just used to play it every single day. So I desperately want to take Immy. Immy loves the movies, so yep. Anyway, I'm gonna keep getting my steps up. I don't have my microphone on now, it's noisy. I couldn't be bothered grabbing it out. I didn't finish saying about Annie. It's on for 2 weeks from Boxing Day, and we might be away. So I said, is there any chance they're going to release another lot of tickets? And she said there probably is. So shh. Don't take my tickets, but I'm really hoping that I can get some better tickets at some more convenient time. I've got new shoes. Hang on, let me show you my new shoes. These are my new shoes. Anyway, my phone is running out of storage. So just quickly saying, I keep buying the same style shoes. I thought I'd buy it in black rather than white, but for some reason the black are tighter than the white and my feet are sore. That's all I had to say about that. So I'm just sitting down, but it's kind of pleasant to just sit down on sunset. I love sunset. I think that's going to be a theme at my 50th. And yes, so just sitting down here at Brisbane River, and when my feet are feeling a little bit better, I will continue on, because the last part before the hospital is a hill, and the hill always makes me very puffed. So bracing myself for that. Isn't that just pleasant to sit and to admire? So it doesn't look like much, but that's a hill that makes me puff. Second evening in a row, I'm sitting with my computer and I'm about to watch The Handmaid's Tale on SBS with my sister. Anybody else like The Handmaid Tale? It's intense. I don't agree with all the stuff on it, but I love the storyline. Okay, if you have got to the end and you haven't subscribed to my channel, you better subscribe to my channel, because I think we're going to be friends. I'm just going to leave the video there, because obviously it's taken a while to get to this point, and I do stay in hospital for a bit longer. So I have a surprising doctor turn up at my bedside. That's going to be in the next video. And I also go to Frankenstein with the kids. So I will put that in the next video, possibly. I'll see how long it all is. But those are all coming up, so stay subscribed and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.